Hello from the Non Normie Club. This week I want to talk about toxic work environment. Now, a lot of people out there say the excuse that they have to put up with it because they need to pay the bill and all that other excuses. But just saying this from my personal experience, if you continue to work in a toxic work environment, it's gonna take a low, like, it's gonna weigh you down. It's gonna make you more depressed than you really are about life, another issue in your life. I was somebody that was raised and I was young, been taught by my parents, just do my thing quietly and keep my head down because they are immigrant and they say that in this country you cannot argue with the white people because we never win. So we just have to keep our head low and just, be obedient even though they're abusing us at work, giving us more work than we have to, you know. This is like, you don't have to put up with that. I was a pushover, but then I just realized that when I do my work at work, the toxic people are going to keep giving me work. So let's take this for example. In the past, I have this trashy manager. She's just trash. She hired this guy who is her friend. He never do any work. He just sit there and FaceTiming his girlfriend all the time, all day at work. And then I found out from a coworker that she is dating one of his friend. Real trash. That's such a toxic manager. So I was doing office work while he still get paid the same rate as me, but he get to sit there and FaceTime his girlfriend all day, and it's a really toxic workplace because when I go tell the upper manager about it, so this guy is very manipulative. His name is Brian. He would like flirt with all the women in the office. So they're like, Brian, you're so nice. He would say things like, oh, Katie, you look nice today. Did you change your hair color? Oh, that color looked nice on you, one of those type. And then he have a child with his ex-wife. So, he just put up this image that, oh, single father and all that, BS, laziest, yeah, just plain lazy. Anyways, so the upper manager, his name was Jerry. He just say like, "Oh well, everybody have to like return to the office now, and then we're gonna put another manager to watch Brian and Anna and their friend. We need another manager to watch both of them." I'm like, "Are you kidding me? This guy doesn't even do work, and this has been going on for 3 years that he worked here." And this is the best solution you come up with, and not because he's a person of color and they're afraid that if they're going to fire him, there's going to be a huge lawsuit. So they wanted to avoid that. Great. Yeah. So, like, that's still like, it's not a solution. It has been gone for 3 years. And like, he's just gonna keep staying there until he promotes him, manager. But I don't want my manager to be dating his friend. That toxic environment still exists, even though the upper manager puts someone else to babysit them. Basically, is like nope. So then I left that workplace. Now let's move to the recent workplace. So at my recent workplace, I have a few lazy coworker they barely do anything during their shift, and then they just leave all the stuff for me to do when I come in for my shift. And then when I tell my manager about it, he just say like, "Oh, well, you can trade shift with them." Yeah, but that does not make the workload go away. If they work in another shift, I still get that workload because they're not gonna do any work. All they do is sit there on the phone or watching football or something. Is my manager is very passive, but thankfully, I recently had to write a formal letter of complaint to upper management. And, they dig into it and they did some investigation and they found out that the people I was reporting not doing work at all and all these issues happening at work because they weren't doing work were true. So, they write up a couple people. So, that's good because, this time around, upper management is making an attempt to fix the issue. And they also give my manager extra managerial training because he had no experience of being a manager before this, and he was just being buddy buddy with his buddy at work. So, but at least he says sorry to me, and that he said he will try better in the future. But you know, he's a fine manager. Like he wasn't trashy like the other woman. But he's just passive. He's just one of those people who is like very passive and he just wanna get along with his boys. Like it's like the boys club. So but it's like, you know, d- whether you want to be pushover, you want to make all these excuses of why you are in a toxic environment, but you don't want to get out of it, that's on you. For me, it's like I hate going to work, seeing people getting paid the same rate as me, but I have to do all the work and they get away with doing absolutely nothing. So that is not fair to me. And regardless of if you're my manager or, you know, I don't care. There's always people above you. And if they also just allow this BS toxic environment to go on, then they're also toxic. I don't want to waste my time and my energy for a company that doesn't value me, that abuse me by giving me more work because I'm actually a hard worker and other person doesn't want to work at all. That's that's not them valuing you. That's just them abusing you because they know they can because you're a pushover. So, you don't have to take it from them. It's just gonna drain your mental energy over time and you're like, oh, I'm working hard. All I get is more work. And these people get away with doing absolutely nothing. And you know who's going to be next in manager? Them. Because you know why? They just get away with life because they're good with just being friends with other people around them. And that's another point that I want to touch on is that if all your upper manager and all people see is that they want a people type to be manager, then that is a red flag because those type only pretend to just get along with their coworker, talk, 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 and they don't do any work at all. We should stop just teaching people that like then we created a bunch of lazy people that just know how to manipulate people at work. And you're like, isn't that the point? Just to manipulate people and get out of work? No, then you might as well just stay at home and be on welfare or something because you don't want to work at all. There's other people that want to work and have a career just because you're good at talking to people, being friendly with them, and they buy all that BS that you putting out there but you just want to be lazy, not do any work at all. It's unfair to people who want to work hard, but they're introvert and they want to advance in their career, but they just don't want to do this the annoying water cooler talk. They don't want to get involved with the office talk, gossip. But often people are so blinded is because we were taught the wrong this wrong is that you just have to be super nice to everybody. You just have to be talking to everybody to get along with them so that you can get through life and get what you want. And then you end up with a bunch of manipulative people walking out there just being nice, not genuinely, but just they know that they can just be nice to other people by talking to them, by doing all this, like, just complimenting all of that, but they don't do any work at all. So, a good work environment and a good manager, they should hire a diverse group of people, not just one type. I had a really good manager once. It was my second job out of college. Her name was Susan. She was queer, so she understands it. So there was a lot of diverse people on her team. There was some introvert, there was some queer people, there was some extrovert. So it was a good mix of different personality versus most workplace that just hire the most talkative people. What you end up with is a bunch of people just sitting in group talking to each other, nothing get done. And there's that one introvert that actually doing the job, but they just look at you like, oh, that one is antisocial, it doesn't talk at all. Like, yeah, but you're at work. You're supposed to be working. You don't spend all your time talking, you know? Like, so yeah, you would understand this because this is the Non Normie Club. It's about people who are like myself, who are introvert and they just want to be at work, do the work, and get out. We don't want to do the water cooler talk. We don't care about the office gossip. We don't care about the superficial work relationship that you build with your coworker. It's like, excuse me, I'm here to work. I'm not here to hear about John and his drama at home with his three children, his wife. Like, please don't waste my time talking about that. And there's a lot of toxic manager out there. I once have a manager, and she was obsessed with seeking validation from men. And I'm not kidding about that. Like, when she walked around the office talking to her buddies, they're all guys. And then there was 4 boys on my team, and I'm the only girl. So we do sell. We were selling mortgage, and then like she always pick on me because every day she come to the office, the boys be like, "Hi Melissa, you look nice today." Like, yeah, you wear the same clown makeup as yesterday. Nothing changes. Like, I don't like superficial comment when I don't feel like it. So I don't say any of those stuff. It's like, good morning, Melissa. Just good morning. Hey, yeah, it's like casual. It's, you know, polite. Yeah, and then she doesn't like the way I do the call. Like, my number was fine. I was a top 20 salesperson in the company. My previous manager was fine with me. He just, let me do whatever I want. Like, he's one of those managers, like, you find your own way of how you do the sale and close it. It doesn't matter. As long as you hit the number, that's fine. Now, Melissa is different. She was trying to create little clone like her. We all have to like do the same method that she say. If you don't do that specific method, she would she would like talk to you afterward and just totally grill you. It get uncomfortable to the point that she was like on the call just like so the customer can't hear what I'm saying, but she's in my ear saying like, "You should say this, you should say that." It's like, "Shut up, Melissa. I can't do the call if you're like in my ear screaming what to say." Yes, she's very a control freak. Like she just wanted everybody to get in the phone and just be like screaming like, "Hi, this is Melissa. How you doing?" Like that. Like, God, what the heck? Yeah, so it's like so you're just making little clone of yourself. You that style work for you. So you want to clone that style into everybody else to follow the same style. I just don't want to be that type. So it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. So, and she have other problem too. Like, yeah, I feel sorry for her boyfriend. Like, she's a control freak. She would like randomly scream at him on the phone. During lunch, I can hear it in the lunchroom. I'm like, "Ugh, gosh, you're just so crazy, control freak." So, not every workplace is worth your energy and time. There's always something better out there. I just don't wanna I just don't wanna work in that toxic environment every day. I don't even look forward to going to work because I hate it so much. Life is full of opportunity, and for people who are like us, introverted, neurodivergent, and queer, you might feel that the world is against us because there's not many places that accept us for who we are, and that you feel like we have to mask it to survive in the world, faking it until you make it. You will feel like you're losing a part of yourself each day. It get to the point. Well, this is for my personal I was faking it until I make it, but then I started to hate it more to the point that I just doesn't want to go to work at all. And that to me, like I just would rather like harm myself than just go to work because I hate that work environment. I feel like high school over again. Like, why I want to be in an environment like that and just all the depression from the past that sets in? But I learned over time that as long as you keep moving forward, there is a workplace out there that is not toxic. There's a manager out there that's understand you and will accept you for who you are. It might take longer for you to find the right workplace and the right manager, but it's not impossible. So why suffer? And you still making if you are still making excuses that say I have bills to pay and all that stuff, that is not a problem for me. I learned over time to be frugal. I don't have to go out to eat all the time. I don't have to go out to socialize all the time. You know, I just save my money so that I have some in reserve. So when I plan to leave my toxic work environment, I have that saving to get me through the slow time so that I can find a job that I like in an environment with a team and a manager that accept me for who I am, not just feel like it's a drag going to work every day and being in that toxic work environment. So, you know, just don't suffer in silence. If you're a manager, if you feel like they're taking advantage of you, if your coworker taking advantage of you, go to the upper manager. And if they don't do anything about it, then it's time for you to leave. The place is not worth your time or effort. There's always a way. Just stop being afraid. Stop making excuses. If you really want to leave, you will find a way. That's just what I learned because all my life, my parent been telling me to keep my head low and not cause trouble at work, but it's not causing trouble. You're fighting for what is fair to you, that you are not being overworked, that they are treating you unfairly. That is toxic. You know, just when people see you as causing trouble, that's just them being blinded, don't want to see the truth. So just ignore those people. All right. Well, thanks for listening and see you next time for another episode at the Non Normie Club.